So in this video, I got to 100 days in my Minecraft hardcore world. But before I got there, I had 4 goals. I wanted to get full diamond armor, beat the game, get an Elytra, and complete my first big build in this world. Keep watching to see if I can do all of this before 100 days. So here I was at day 51. I started out by sitting at my spider farm collecting levels, and I ended up leaving when I was at 36 levels. I ran back across my completely safe and secure bridge, and then whenever I came back, it was nighttime, so I went for my first sleep of many, turning it to day 55. So I started out this day by trading some paper with one of my villagers to get emeralds, and then I did some enchanting, and walked over to a cave and found myself staring face to face with the void of death. I don't know what that's about, but anyways, I then went back into the Nether with the goal of collecting some blackstone for a build that I have planned. So after filling up my inventory with blackstone, I was back on my way home and it was day 56. So then on day 56, I put all of my deep slate into a chest and then farmed some sugarcane because I was still wanting to get more emeralds. And then I also just went and mined a bunch of clay to trade with my clay village guy, and then day 57 came along really quickly. So I really just did more trading this day, but I also started to cover up this hole that's right by my protection villager because 1, it's annoying to walk over every time, and 2, because I'm eventually hoping to build all over this plains biome, and I might as well start cleaning up as I can. Although maybe I shouldn't build my base over the void of death. But regardless, I got it about halfway covered up before I ran out of blocks, and I noticed that the village iron golem was surveying my work, and I think that I did a pretty good job. So in the back of my mind this whole time, I was pretty scared of the fact that I was going to have to trade with piglins and really go into the Nether to get ender pearls because it takes too long to kill endermen, if I'm being honest. But on day 58, I had the realization that I don't need to trade with piglins at all, because I can just trade with my villagers for ender pearls, which is perfect because the longer I'm in the Nether, the more chance I have of dying. And so now that I really just established the goal of getting a bunch of ender pearls, I was really on the hunt for more emeralds. And so because of that, on day 59, I went back over to another village, and I've mined all of their hay bales to be able to trade the wheat with my own villagers, and I also threw some bread at them so they would be able to breed faster. And then on day 60, I watched firsthand as my cleric villager betrayed me and walked directly into my cow pit. And after that, I just went on a massacre because what else could I have done in that situation? I was distraught. But eventually, I did save him and that tragedy was over. The only notable moment from day 61 was that I mined all of the logs from this village house because apparently I didn't feel like mining a tree. Then I also mined some more dirt and finished covering up that hole from before. And then, on day 62, after going back to the spider spawner to fix my pickaxe, I was on my way to the fortress to kill a bunch of blazes. And boy, was I terrified. So I navigated my way all the way around to the fortress, and it was time to survive. So I know I've talked a lot about being the greatest Minecraft player to ever exist, and I know you have zero reason to doubt that, but if you needed a reason to believe me, here it is. I mean, what else do I need to say? The evidence is all there. And while I was in here, I did also get some good chests, but other than that... And after getting all of the blaze rods that I needed, I was getting out of there. Like, I was getting out of there. I haven't actually been this scared to play Minecraft since I was like 12. This was horrible. So I came back from the Nether in the almost night of day 66 and assessed everything that I got. So then after sleeping and turning it to day 67, I started out this day by shearing my sheep, making some beds, and laying them out for the villagers, hoping that they kept breeding. Then I traded with them some more, and I got some more ender pearls. Then obviously I did something really important, and I got up my fish so that I could tame a few cats. I ended up getting 2 of them, but I didn't have enough fish for the 3rd one, and honestly that's probably the most tragic thing that's ever happened to me, but then I got another pearl, so it was okay. So then on day 68, I went back to the spider farm, crossing my extremely safe and fashionable bridge to get over there. I killed a bunch of spiders and ended up going back to the village with 32 levels again, and then I slept once I got back there. Alright guys, it's a big day. Day 69. Do you know why it's a big day? Because I traded emeralds for the last ender pearls that I needed, and then I was finally able to go to the stronghold. Why did you think it was a big day? Kinda weird. Anyways, on day 70, I started following the Ender Eyes to get to the stronghold. And on the way there, I ended up finding a spruce biome, which is great, because at this point, I really haven't gone anywhere in this world except for plains biomes and oak forests. So it was really refreshing to see that this seed had more to offer than just that. Then it was around this point when I was about halfway to the stronghold, and I realized that I forgot arrows. How am I going to fight the dragon without arrows? So luckily, I saw this ruined portal, and I ran over to that. And I was actually able to light it from the items that were in the chest. So I did that, and then I was actually also right by the bridges that I had to build to get over to my fortress. So I used that way to get home. And then I went over to another village to get a fresh arrow guy, and then I got some arrows and started running back to the stronghold again, because I hopefully had everything I needed now. And on the way there, I saw this cool hill. I threw a few more eyes just to be sure I hadn't passed the stronghold yet, and then I also put down a bed and slept whenever it was turning to nighttime. So, on day 71, I started boating in the direction of the eyes until I found the point where it started going backwards, and then I started mining down right around there. I dug straight into the stronghold and immediately started navigating it. I found both of the libraries, and I also found myself in the perfect situation to get some music discs. So I waited for the skeletons to shoot the creepers, and I got 2 copies of Ward. Really? Not a chirp? Not a strad? Okay. I see how it is. Anyways, though, I eventually found my way into the portal room, and then I lit it and went inside. And after receiving one of the largest jump scares I will ever receive, I started fighting the dragon. And you know how dragon fights go. I shot all of the towers. All of those towers were very tall, by the way. Wasn't a big fan of that one. But I did need to build up to one of them and break the crystal. And I jumped down into my water from there. Very scary. I was very scared. But then all I did was shot the dragon and hit it a couple times until it died. Then I got my XP, I picked up the dragon egg, and I built my way over to the end gateway because it's finally time to get Elytra to make everything so much easier. Whoa, hold on. If you made it here, have you checked to see if you're subscribed? I'm making content like this all the time now, and if you like it, you should totally subscribe to see more. Also, for the record, I linked my Twitter in the description, and the spot is open if someone wants to be my first follower. Anyways, I continued on and started looking for an end city. The first end city that I found didn't even have a ship to get in Elytra, so that felt great after walking like 1,000 blocks. And the weirdest thing, as I was bridging across the void, I had such the sudden uncontrollable urge to start speed bridging, which is so weird because I'm so unable to speed bridge. Like, I would have fallen off immediately, but it was okay. I didn't, I'm safe. But regardless, after wandering like 2,000 more blocks, I eventually found a city with a ship. So I went in and got the Elytra first. I looted the rest of the city then, and then I flew around to find a few more. 1, because I wanted to have a backup Elytra, and 2, because one of my goals was to get diamond armor, of course, in this video. And did you think I was gonna mine that myself? No. So I ended up getting a bunch of armor, and I also got the great view from up here advancement. But after doing all that though, I went back to the overworld. I did set my spawn to the stronghold earlier also so that I could come back and mine some of the books from the library. And after getting a bunch of books, I made my way home. So it was day 73 when I got back from the stronghold, and I started moving everything that I got from the end into chests from my shulker boxes. And as you can see, I did get full diamond armor, and I started using my levels to combine the enchantments on all of them, so I could be really safe. And it did turn to night almost immediately, so on day 74 and 75, I pretty much just continued doing this. I enchanted a bunch of books until all of my levels were gone, and I also did end up finding a name tag in a dungeon that was near the stronghold, so I named my horse Megan. And then I also traded for some more books with my librarian villager, and I finished by mining some gravel because I got Fortune 3 on a shovel, and flint is one of the easiest things to trade for emeralds. So then on day 76, I'd finally achieved all of my goals. except for one. I still needed to build something in this world. I need to solidify it as my own. And I thought about this for a really long time, and I realized, what is a better symbol than a dragon egg to show that I beat this world and it's just my world now? So I planned to build a huge dragon egg in the field by my village. And I didn't want to go into this blind, obviously, so I wanted to calculate the amount of blocks that I would need so I didn't have to keep going back and forth between the Nether and the overworld to get more blackstone. So here were the plans I drew up. Professional, I know. And I figured that I would need just over 26.5 stacks of blackstone to have enough to build it. So after flying back over to the spider farm and mending my pickaxe, I went back into the Nether and mined a shulker box full of blackstone, and after that, on day 77, I went over to a beach and mined some sand. And after getting all of the materials, it was time to start building. I got done with like the first layer, and the zombie apocalypse just must have happened in my world or something because I had to kill so many of them. But don't worry, the zombies weren't the only disturbance that I had, because on day 81 I was just having a good time building my build when I turned around and saw a pillager staring right at me. Yet another jump scare. And the thing is, I couldn't even fight them because the last thing I want to do right now is start a raid in my village. So I quickly flew over to my farms and I got a bucket of milk. And I also traded for some arrows then too because I had run out by that point. But by the time I flew back over to the pillagers, they were gone already. So that's pretty cool. But then on day 83, they ended up spawning again. And I actually did kill them this time because I still had the milk from before. So that was great. Also, I would love to share that my new least favorite thing is phantoms. I knew I didn't like them before, but I really don't like them now. And now, it was around day 89, and after I had finished about 70% of the build, I realized that I did not have enough materials. I did not have enough at all. I calculated it, and I calculated it wrong. So I needed to go back and mine more blackstone. And then after that, I also went back into the end so that I could mine endstone and collect a bunch of chorus blossoms because I wanted those for my build as well. And after getting those, I did fly around in search of another end city to get some purple blocks, and I also ended up getting another elytra while I was there. And then right before I came back through the end gateway, I put on my chest plate to kill an enderman so that I could pearl in, because if I died at this point to an enderman, I would just be embarrassed. So then after that, I pearled into the gateway, and I would just like to point out how easily this could have been the end of me if I moved even the slightest bit, because I had a chestplate on, not my elytra. But I didn't move, so things are going well. And by the time I made it back home and got all of my blocks ready, it was day 91, and it was go time. So I just kept on building. I ended up getting around 3 more layers done, and to day 95, whenever I realized that yet again I didn't mine enough blackstone. So I yet again found myself on the way to the Nether to mine some more. So when I got back, I finished up the top of the build with blackstone, and I worked on covering up all of the glass from the inside of the build. I also put end rods on the outside of it as temporary lighting, because mobs were spawning on top of it. So then I started filling up the inside floor with end stone, and then I started on the exterior ground as well. Once that was done, I placed down some chorus blossoms, and then the build was done. I will very likely expand out the end stone that's on the ground outside of the egg because that'll make it look a lot better. And I haven't really decided what I'm doing on the inside of the egg yet, but I'm thinking I'll put a farm of some sort inside of it. And to finish off these 100 days, I wanted to do this while giving out the hugest thank you to everyone who has subscribed recently. Because in my last video, I set the goal of reaching 50 subscribers, and you guys got me to over 100. This is a huge milestone, and I could not be more thankful right now. I have so many plans for this channel, and I'm so excited to have you all here. And so, here is me mining 100 diamonds for my 100 subscribers.